developing inner mastery that leads to outer results, bringing benefit to our work and our world. That's the purpose of the Inner MBA. Welcome to Insights from the Inner MBA, wisdom from conscious business leaders. Today's episode features entrepreneur, artist, expert on emotional fitness, and the author of the Awesome Human Project, Nataly Kogan. Nataly was a successful entrepreneur who believed for many years that a good leader is someone who puts themselves last. That is, until she had a complete and total experience of burnout. When she found her footing again, she committed herself to a different form of leadership, one that is not martyr-based, but is instead based on thriving in service of helping others to thrive. My name's Tammy Simon, founder of Sounds True. In this series, we present special teaching moments that carry illumination and breakthroughs, like lightning strikes that were delivered during the Inner MBA, an online immersion program created in collaboration with LinkedIn and Wisdom 2.0. The Inner MBA connects a global community from more than 90 countries, guided by a world-class faculty that includes innovative professors, leading CEOs, wisdom teachers, and conscious business trainers. We engage in the work of growth and transformation, elevating our ability to create business results that align with our deepest values. And now, here's Nataly Kogan on putting your well-being first.
You are a leader if your primary goal is to positively impact other people's capacity to thrive. But here's the kicker. We often in our culture talk about servant leadership. In fact, servant leadership, when it comes to leadership, is one of the most Googled phrases. There's many articles about servant leadership. And I'm going to try to convince you today that the best leaders are selfish. I'm going to try to convince you that the only way that you can actually fulfill this responsibility of helping other people thrive, of positively impacting them to thrive, is by putting yourself, your well-being, your emotional fitness first. For most of my life, for most of my career in technology and in finance, I definitely was a leader who believed not just in servant leadership, I kind of took it to a place of martyr leadership. You know, there's this military term, or it's a tradition actually, leaders eat last. I'm sure you've heard about it. Simon Sinek talks about it. And so in the military, you know, the leader is the last person to eat. Everybody else, the junior soldiers, they eat first. So I really took that like very literally. And what I mean by that is I thought that to be a great leader, I just had to devote myself fully to my team. I had to care about them and take care of them, and sleep. That seemed silly, getting more than 4. I used to pride myself like, oh my God, I never sleep more than 5 hours a night. Sleep, taking care of myself, taking breaks, or really doing anything for myself, it seemed, well, just wrong. Like very selfish and wrong, because my team needs me. They need all of me. They need all my energy and my availability and my care. Of course, I was exhausted. We're human beings. We can't function without doing things to honor ourselves. Of course, I was exhausted. Of course, I was overwhelmed. Of course, I was stressed out. But you know what? I used to think that's exactly how I should feel. I used to think that means I am a great leader, because look how exhausted I am. I'm giving it all to my team. And by the way, that means I'm a great mom too. Like, look, it's 2 a.m. and I'm making my daughter homemade meals. I can hardly see, but I am a good mom. And that's the way that I felt as a leader and as a parent. And as I mentioned, I just thought this was the right thing to do. And I did it for about 20 years. And then I burnt out. I started to feel really incompetent as a leader, as a CEO. And then it just all snowballed to a place where I couldn't function. It was very, very scary. I had to shut down the company and lay off the team. And I was very shamed. I thought I'd failed my team and I failed as a leader. It was very difficult. And it took me years to kind of not just heal and recover, but really understand the root of it. And the thing that came out of it, it was a couple years after I'd burnt out, I started to, I reconnected with my team and I started to have some conversations with them. And what I learned was one of the biggest lessons in my life. I learned that in all of my attempts to put my team first, I actually was hurting them. I was impatient. I wasn't a very good listener. I expected perfection. And when I didn't get it, I flew off the handle. I didn't have a lot of empathy or compassion when they shared that something was wrong. I just wanted to fix it and make it better. Why was I like that? I'm a really caring person. I cared about them so much. Why was I like that? Well, I was like that because that is how we are, because of our biology and the way that our brain works when we are on empty. And I find that's really helpful to understand because I remember feeling like, why can't I just do better? You know what I mean? Like, why did I just snap at them? Why can't I come up with a better product idea? It wasn't my fault and it's not your fault. When you are drained, when you're overwhelmed, when you're in this constant chronic stress condition, your brain begins to think that you are in danger. And when you're in danger, your brain goes on alert and goes into, I'm sure you've all heard of it, this fight or flight mode of operating. I want to give you a couple very specific things that your brain pulls resources away from when you are in this chronic alert mode. Being able to process different points of view. Listening well and actually being open to listening. Having patience, not making snap judgments. Having compassion and empathy and being able to really understand the other person. Being able to make thoughtful decisions. Being able to come up with creative solutions to problems. Think about that. When you're in this constant state of alertness and fight or flight, your brain is pulling resources from the very functions that are essential for you to be a great leader. So I want you to understand this is not for lack of your trying or your desire to be a wonderful leader. This is just how the brain works. And that's why I find it really useful to kind of have this neuroscience understanding of how your brain reacts to you being in constant, what it determines, chronic danger. And so this is why my call to you, my invitation is for you to recognize that to be a great leader, to be that person who positively impacts other people's capacity to thrive, you have to be a selfish leader. You have to put yourself first. You have to put your emotional fitness and your well-being at the very top of your list, because you cannot give what you don't have.
Nataly speaks plain truth. I remember many years ago when a mentor said to me, "You like doing everything on your own, but have you ever noticed that top athletes have a whole lot of support and coaching? Perhaps you should try thinking of yourself like a type of corporate athlete, since you like performing at a high level. And to do so, you need to be well-rested, well-fed, well-trained, fit and supported." What a shift that way of thinking is for many of us. The question I have for you, what model do you hold when it comes to well-being and personal effectiveness? Do you need to update your thinking and behavior? In what way? Come join us at the Inner MBA and let's talk about it. This unique online immersion program brings together a community of executives, entrepreneurs, emerging leaders, and nonprofit professionals from around the world. The insights and wisdom shared in this podcast are just a glimpse of what you'll experience in the Inner MBA, guided by conscious business trainers, leading CEOs, wisdom teachers, and a world-class faculty from Harvard, MIT, NYU, and the Peter F. Drucker School of Management. The Inner MBA provides a profound journey of growth and an up-leveling of the skills we need to align business results with our true values. The next cohort begins in September. You can learn more at innermba.soundstrue.com. Use the promo code INSIGHTS during your application and receive 15% off your tuition. With open arms, we welcome you to the Inner MBA, transforming ourselves, lifting up each other, doing all that we can so that our work makes a difference.